When it comes to anger, I am a gentle giant, which means it takes a really long time for me to get mad, but when I get mad, I get big mad. But it takes a lot. You have to do a whole lot to me before I get really, like, a lot. And you'll, like, if you're ever around me, you'll figure this out. Anyway, so when you are dealing with anger, this is something that I try to keep in mind, and it's something that's helped me in the past, especially with relationships, if you are angry. So one of the things you have to realize is that as soon as you get angry, somebody says something that just trips up your ego, and that's what happens. It's like you're tripping up the ego. You're either going to fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So you're going to fight, you're going to sit there, and you're going to yell and scream, or you're going to throw punches, right? Flight, you're going to run far, far away from the situation and never look back. Okay? You're going to freeze, which means you're just going to sit there and take it and say nothing. Or you're going to fawn. You're just going to go along with the argument and be like, oh, you're right, you're right, you're right. And then you don't really feel that way. You're just fawning. You're pretending. So those are your 4 responses usually. And then one of the things you do need to do as soon as you, like, recognize which one you're in. Which one am I in? Which one am I experiencing? So I know it's really hard to do that. So in order to do that, what I do is I take some time to step away. I would suggest stepping away from it. Even if, and to do this, you just tell the person, you're like, okay, I need a couple minutes, or give me a little bit of time on this one, and I will get back to you. And then really do get back to them, because the bad part would be that you say, I'm going to take a few minutes to think about this and I'll get back to you, and then you never do. That's bad. Bad. Don't do that. So you go and you take some time away. And what I want you to do is I want you to calm down your brain, calm down your mind. I want you to do some breathing exercises. If you don't know what those are, look those up. Do some refocusing exercises, like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like 5 things I can see, 4 things that I can hear, 3 things that I can feel, that kind of stuff. So you recenter yourself so that you can come back to a logical, rational place, because you've got to do that. If you're in any kind of fight, or flight, if there's conflict, you're not going to be rational right up front. That's normal human response to conflict, because that's what we're supposed to do. But it can cause some issues. I need you to think about either venting to a friend or a family member that will hold you accountable. That's the big thing. They have to hold you accountable and be like, but wait. Or they let you vent, and then they're like, okay, do you feel better? The other thing that you could do is you can write in a journal. I have also written letters and then torn them up, because that helps, and thrown them away. And that helps me. Just saying everything that I want to say on the letter and then not giving it to them, because they don't need to hear all of my irrational thoughts, right? They just need to hear what I really want to say, which is in logic and love and kindness. Give me a second. That's a little better. More like. Anyway, you need to start thinking, once you get that calm down, you need to be like, what was it that triggered my anger? Which past trauma? Or what did they say that really made me angry? Okay? How did it really make you feel? Did it make you feel small, incapable? Did it make you feel vulnerable? Because that's a big one. Did it make you feel sad? How did that information make you feel? Did it make you feel like... And once you notice, like, what it is, and then you can think, okay, that's my trauma that's associated with this. How did it make me feel? And a lot of times it's because they make you feel small or vulnerable. I've heard that too. That happens too. So small or vulnerable. And once you do that, was that really what they meant? Because you're going to have to understand that people are going to say things in the heat of the moment. They're also going to do things in the heat of the moment. So sometimes you have to give them space. Now, if this is a continued pattern where they consistently like blow up on you, or they consistently blow up on people, it's something that they need to work on. That's on them. But if it's not, maybe they were just having a bad day. Maybe their day was just off. And you've got to allow people to have bad days and off days, because we're people and humans, and we have those. So was that really what they meant? What else could be going on that could have contributed to that in their environment or in your environment? What else could they have been? Are they just concerned about you? Are they really just concerned about you, and they're like letting you know in the most angry way that they can, so it scares you? Is it a fear tactic? what else is going on? And then the other thing that you need to realize is that it's not always about you. Sometimes it's about somebody else completely, and you were in the line of fire. And that happens way too often. And is it right? No. But it's going to happen. And you could just be in the direction of where they're pointing it. And that's, you've got to realize that that's part of it. Also, you need to understand that hurt people hurt people. Now, that doesn't mean that it excuses the behavior. It just means that you need to be able to forgive by understanding that hurt people hurt people. Like, that it's not you, or it's not all you. There's all kinds of things, all kinds of factors involved in this. The thing that I like to do is compartmentalize. Now, this one's really hard for people sometimes, and especially if you're a holistic person like me, I have had to learn how to compartmentalize things. Like, step away mentally until you can process it away from the situation. You want to be away from the situation, like pretty far away from the situation before you go through it, process it. And if you can't get away, you need to compartmentalize, and you need to put that boundary there and be like, okay, I can't anymore. And just put it out of your brain if you can. Do as much as you can, like stay busy, do whatever you need to do until you can take time away to process that. Take accountability. That's the big thing. Now, this one's the hard thing for people. You've got to take accountability for your part. Like, what part did I play in that? What were my wrongdoings there? And I always think about that up front. It's like, okay, what could I have done better? What did I do to put myself in this situation? This is so much better for you when you do that. It's going to help your health, and it's regardless of what happens to them or why they did it or what they did. You taking accountability for your part is going to help you feel a whole lot better. It's going to be like, well, I did do something. I did do something, and I did deserve some of that. Now, did you deserve all of it? Probably not. But you have to take accountability for what you did. You need to physically separate yourself to process with either a trusted person or yourself. So if you're going to a trusted person, that's somebody who's not going to gossip about it or get in the middle of the business. That's somebody who's like very much removed from the situation. You can also process it with yourself in a journal. You can also process it with a therapist, a counselor, a life coach, whoever it is that you're working with. But physically separate yourself to do that. Like, you need alone time to do that. Keep to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Big deal. Keep it to yourself. It's not helpful to vent to untrustworthy people, and it can really hurt you in the end. So don't vent. Don't just go out and like tell the whole world. We don't do that. Now, in my toxic era, I might have done that. I did do that in my toxic era. But I have healed so much since then. It's been a long time since I've been in that situation. And I learned by like being burned that way. And so you have to not just vent, not just bleh, because they may not understand. They don't know the whole context. And so then it becomes telephone. So you have to be careful about that. You need to classify the interaction. Is it something you need to change or work on? And you have to be really honest with yourself on this one. You got to find your logic brain. This is your logic. Find your strength. Find your compassion. You're going to need compassion on this one. Find understanding. Give them space. I always try to do this. Like, you can have your space. That's fine. And then take accountability and move on. And that is how I deal with that. Now, does it come back up? Yeah, absolutely. It comes back up. And sometimes I have to word vomit again to a trusted person who's not going to like let me be full of bull honky with my words. That's going to be like, hey, but wait a second. Or I write it in my pretty journals that I have, like my 80 that I have. I have like 6 more inside. It's fine. But that's just kind of how I handle conflict. And I think it's something that you have to do. You have to be able to do that, even in relationships, like, especially in like, and in other situations, just with people in general. You have to be able to like step back and logic it before you go ape poop crazy. Okay? All right. I like the false face. It's fine. I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.